In today's demonstration, the scenario is that I'm a network administrator or a security administrator, and I've received an email alert from the Great Bay Network Intelligence Platform informing me that a new rogue device was detected. So there are a number of different ways that I can go about mitigating the risk associated with that event. So I can log into the Great Bay UI, and I could look at the recent events widget, over the last 48 hours, or I can actually look and drill down deeper into, the last hour or modify it however I see fit. And then I can see that there are a number of events that are new endpoint events as well as profile change events. If I want to look at all events for this system, I can actually log into the endpoint console, view endpoint events, and then I get a table of everything that's been seen. So at quick scan, I can see that there is a rogue device. It was detected this morning, September 6th at 5:40 a.m. I know that it was detected on this test switch, GBS test 03, by this IP address, and on this interface. I'm a click away from finding more information out about that event. So in this case, I drilled down deeper. Here's the MAC address. Again, the MAC vendor is a Cisco Linksys. I can see that it's failed to authenticate, which is great. So I feel a little bit better about the fact that it's isolated. And if I look at current location, I can actually see that it's on switch port interface 3, not 7. This you can see is a hyperlink. If I drill down deeper, it takes me to the network device view. And here we go. Interface 3 is that rogue device, and here's that MAC address. So again, as an admin, chances are that I'm going to log into the switch. So from the switch, I'll probably do a show authenticated sessions just to see what the switch knows about it. And I can see that it is in this authorized failed state. So again, great. In this case, the switch is set for a rigid pass-fail. If the device is known by the Great Bay platform, we're basically telling the switch to trust it if it's in an approved profile. And if it's not, and based on our response of saying that it's not trusted or it's not in an approved profile, the switch will go into a failed state, which in this case, the port goes into a shut mode and the device can't communicate at all. So again, looking back at the Great Bay interface, I can drill down deeper back into that view that I was at. And as I think about it, I'm looking through the tickets that I've received from yesterday, and I can see that there's a new operating room camera that's supposed to be deployed today. So I do have a couple of options. So dynamically provisioning the device based on changes in authorization. So in this case, we've detected a rogue device, but instead of telling the switch to put it into this failed state, we actually have the ability to communicate with the network fabric to assign VLANs in a way that we can protect the business while still allowing the device to communicate in a protected fashion. So in this case, I'm actually going to take a quick look at the clinical laptop. If I drill down there and I look at the profile itself, here's an example of where we can set back some of those provisioning scenarios or provisioning configurations, if you will. So in this case, if a device moves into that clinical laptop profile, we're basically instructing the switch to apply this VLAN 202, which is a clinical VLAN, to those devices. So that regardless of whatever the switch port was set at, because we're vouching for it and saying that it is an approved device, we're also telling the switch to put it in this network. So in regards to that rogue, it could start off in that rogue profile, but instead of being isolated completely, we can put it into a protected VLAN. In this case, we assign a different VLAN ID. Continue to monitor it, and as we see changes in attribute or changes in behavior that allow us to trust it more, it'll dynamically move into a more trusted profile, and we can send back similar configuration changes to the switch to elevate its status on the network and allow it to essentially move into a fully trusted role. We can help you take back control of the network infrastructure, not just through visibility, but also through a variety of different enforcement methods.